Hey everyone, this is Roger B. Welcome back to Bramble Bee Farm. We just want to bring you another update on the aspect we were talking about before on the contrast showers. There's also an aspect of it which sometimes there's a person who is not able to take a contrast shower, but they are bedridden, maybe an older person or even someone that may be younger who, for one reason or the other can't help themselves. You can also do an application called hot and cold fomentation.
So hot and cold fermentation is really effective. Like Roger said, if those for those people who are not able to be able-bodied to get into a shower, or have some type of disability, or just unable to get up, and you are caring for that loved one or whoever, you can do this in a sitting position or in a somebody who's laying down, and you do require a few equipments. You need some type of hot cloth or hot water. You need those hot packs and also cold packs. If you don't have any of those cold packs, you can make your own. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna show it to you with using towels, and the old-fashioned way of doing it, and then you can just translate it to your own hot pack where you microwave it and get it hot, or you put the cold compresses into the freezer and do that there. So Roger's going to be the
Willing
the
patients.
willing person to demonstrate how this happened. You first want to have that patient laying down or sitting up, and also preferably most of the skin exposed in the chest area, around the neck. You're going to need some sheets, blankets, towels, again, hot water and cold water, ice bath of some sort, and you'll need a bucket. So we're going to demonstrate it in pieces so you can get an idea how this works, and I'll explain it along the way.
And preferably to have a draft-free room.
Yes, draft free room. The whole point of this is to really control the temperatures in various aspects. Okay, so let's begin. So the first thing is to have your patient lay down or sitting up, preferably with a extra blanket or towel underneath, because you're going to be using moist heat. They should have their clothing removed, but for this video, we'll just do a dry run. You'll also need some type of bucket. The bucket, you'll put the hot water in, and you are going to place that person's feet in the hot water. Now, there are some contraindications to using the hot water for certain people. If a person has significant neuropathy, or have difficulty with feeling and not able to determine hot from cold, you'll probably want to skip this step. You also need, if you are one that does not have a hot compresses like those you just put in the refrigerator, you'll need another bucket or pan that you can put ice in and some water, and that way you can be able to change out your cold cloth pretty frequently without having to run all over the place. It's effective to have another person, but it's not necessarily required to be able to exchange out the hot cloths. You also need some towels. Um, so we're going to be doing a towel for the head, and we also need a towel for the chest and the back. And these are going to be the moist heat and moist cold. Okay, so you're going to need several of these, and we'll go ahead and demonstrate how this happens. So first thing, patient is laying down. You also need that extra blanket because we want to regulate the temperature. So once that person's feet is in the hot water, if you're using hot water, you will then start to cover them so we can kind of retain that heat. It's almost like a steam bath in a way or another. So we're just trapping the heat, especially around the feet. Again, if they have some kind of contraindication, you don't want to put their feet in there. Okay. And at this point now, if that person has most of their chest exposed, you'll get your towel, you'll get it warmed up, or you can put it in a pan of hot water and wring out all the excess water, or you can damp the towel and put it in a microwave if you have one. You want to kind of shake it out so that you don't have hot spots. And one of the important things is you can put a sheet, a very thin sheet across the chest so we don't have this directly contacting the skin. So as we see here, Raja has a shirt on. We'll put the hot towel right across the chest because this is where we're working with our respiratory problem. And then we'll put the cold cloth covering the head. Okay, and at this point in time, you want to cover your loved one all the way up to the shoulders, to the neck, nicely tucked in. And you'll leave that person laying there for about 3 to 5 minutes until the hot cloth gets to be really comfortable. And then you will take it off, take off the hot cloth, exchange for another. At the same time, you want to wipe off any moisture. So if they get an extra towel, if that sheet or the shirt is hot, wet, you want to change that. Put on a dry sheet because we don't want moisture on the skin. And then we'll replace it with another hot cloth at this point in time. And then we will replace our cold towel with another cold towel. Okay, so in between these sessions, you want to go ahead and get your next set of towel warming up. And you also want to soak another cloth in cold water or change out your cold compress if you have one of those that you bought from the store. And you do this for a cycle of 3 times. And again, this is a very effective way at helping someone to improve on their circulatory system, particularly if someone is unable to get into the shower and do the hot contrast showers like we'd explained before in the other video. So go back and watch that if you haven't had a chance. And this is something you can do for your loved one, because right now, you know, we see the fear, we see the panic, and we know people do not have remedies at home that they can use. And this is one simple remedy that you can use for your loved one if they are sick, they're feeling under the weather, and they cannot get into the hospital. All right. And so when you're finished doing that, your third treatment for this person, you'll remove your warm bucket, the warm water at this point in time. Okay. You want to make sure that you keep them covered. You'll remove your hot cloth, and also you'll remove the cold compress, and you'll let them lay there tucked in, warm, for another 15 to 20 minutes, just relaxing and resting and letting the body do what it does.
So we at Bramblebee Farm, we think that it's really important as we see things happening in our world today that we should just kind of reassure people that it's not a hopeless situation and things are going to change for the better and improve, and we're all going to get through the difficult times, but it may require some, physical intervention and other aspects, but we can't forget the fact that God is the one who makes these things possible for us to be able to handle stress situations. And as long as we trust in Him, He will be able to give us the grace that we need in whatever the case may be, just to handle it. So we just want to remind you that don't forget, give it over to God, and He's going to be the one to get you through. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And I hope that, and I pray that these simple remedies will be effective for you. The best thing that you can do is start practicing them. Don't wait until you have a crisis on your hand at home. So do it now. Doing the hot contrast showers now so you can get an idea of how that works, or just starting to do some dry runs with the fomentation with someone laying in the bed so you have an idea of how to do it before it hits your doorstep. And that way you are prepared, you're armed with some simple techniques, and it doesn't require much, it's not costly, and it's very effective. And one of the things you know, like our big sports teams, they've been using these in their sports medicine treasure chest for years. So this is not something that's new. It's just usually reserved for um, some specialized athletes, and they have access to this. Now you have access to this, and it doesn't cost much. So a lot of sports teams, they pay lots of money for hydrotherapists and sports medicine physicians to come and do these things, and now you can do it yourself. So I pray that it will be useful information and that you will share this with others whom might need it, who might benefit from it. And again, just leave us a comment, share your concerns, or you know, your chair, your hope, and we hope that we can get back with you and we continue to reassure each other. All right, so have a wonderful day.